Hey, it's Samantha Hartley with the Profitable Joyful Consulting Podcast. This season, we have been talking about performance and consulting business success metrics. And today, I want to talk to you about 5 productivity tools that I think can add hours to your week. No exaggeration. Hours and hours. These tools save me that much time, and that's why I'm such an advocate for them. So I'm going to share 5 of them, and some are paid, some are free. I don't even know about that. I'm just telling you, these are the things that I want you to go and get. So the first thing that's up is Loom. If anybody ever asks me what is the most essential time-saving tool in my business, I will always say it's Loom. I know that they have competitors now, but Loom is a screen recording software that can record like you in a little bubble at the bottom of the screen. It can record you on the screen, but mostly it's screen sharing software where you go through something that's on your screen and talk about it for the recipient of your video. And this is a way that I explain things to my team. My team is 100% remote. They're all over the world. And sometimes, especially if you are describing like changes to a website or a graphic design, for example, you want to be able to show a picture of what you mean and go through it without having to write in words what your feedback is. So the time I first started using screen share tools was to give feedback like this. That was a long time ago. And when you saved those files, they were super big and you had to then upload them somewhere where you can send a link for somebody to go and watch them or, heaven forbid, have to send the file to them. Well, times have changed and Loom makes it to where you record the screenshot. It's immediately saved to your control board, which means you just go paste in an email or in the note that you're sending, Slack chat, whatever you're using with your team or your clients. So Loom is an incredible time-saving tool. What I want you to begin to do is get Loom for yourself. I think it's like $100 a year for the paid version of it. And then whenever you're giving feedback to your clients, especially, people love to get an instructional video going through their thing that you've sent them. Let's say it's something they've written for feedback, or it's a design that they've made, or whatever your client is asking you about, some kind of work that they've done that they want to get your feedback on. You can go through and make a Loom in a short amount of time without having to add comments to a document. And, there are plenty of things which are very difficult to add comments to, like an Excel spreadsheet and things like that. Loom has an online version for when you're reviewing things online, whether that's a G Suite kind of things, so a Google Sheets or a Google Doc or a website or anything that's online. And it also has a desktop version. I have used the mobile phone version of it to record for my mom instructions on how to do something in texting, something on her phone. So it's just an amazing tool and I recommend it to everyone. It'll save you hours. I know I used to give, I'm not even kidding, like hours of feedback to my team and clients by typing. I hate typing. And Loom is just is an amazing time saver. So that's the first one that I recommend. Loom. Google it. Obviously, I put the links in the show notes. I'm not an affiliate of any of these. I really don't care about that. It's pennies in affiliate commissions. And what I really want is to save you a ton of time. The second tool that I wanted to talk about is News Feed Eradicator. It is a Chrome extension. There may be extensions for other browsers. This is a thing that I want you to look into. News Feed Eradicator. How many of us are using social media for work? And we get on to whatever that platform is, whether it's Facebook or LinkedIn or Twitter or whatever. And then suddenly you see a thing over here and then you see a message from here. And then we go all and get distracted with everything. The timeline is very often the most distracting part. So I have the Newsfeed Eradicator on, especially on Facebook, where I do have to do some work. And when I log in, I don't see that newsfeed going by with all of the things that are appealing to me because I use Facebook for groups. And so I'm in like dog groups and exercise and plant groups and things like that. So when I log in, I immediately see things that distract me from what I came there to do, which is very often going to be to go to my Facebook group, post some things for you. The Facebook group is called Profitable Joyful Consulting. Google it and find us because we'd love to have you in there. And when you're in Facebook, go straight to the group and don't mess around with the newsfeed. So Newsfeed Eradicator is a huge time-saving tool. Oh my gosh, at least 2 hours a week, I would say. I only use it for Facebook because LinkedIn's newsfeed really is not that distracting. It's just not that good yet. But it also works on Twitter and Instagram and other platforms. So check that out. It can definitely save you a lot of time, especially during the workday when probably if you're on social media, you're there for like a work reason. Hey, let's get the social media and play around with it in the after hours, or if you're on a break and you want to use that as a treat for yourself, but we can't be, distracted by the newsfeed during the workday. The third tool that I want to share with you, I'm so excited about. It's called Don't Break the Chain, and it's an app that will help you to track your streak doing a habit a certain number of days in a row. So this is something that I've taught in my programs for years. Long time ago, Jerry Seinfeld shared his big secret to becoming a great writer was that he wrote every single day. And he had a calendar, like a paper calendar, and he would take a big red marker and he would put an X over all of the days that he had done his writing. And the more momentum he built up, meaning the more days in a row he had done it, the more he would see that visually on his calendar. And then it would inspire him to not break the chain, right? Don't miss a day. So he would do it every single day. James Clear in his book points out, his book Atomic Habits, he points out how it's not about doing intensity, it's about consistency. So it's not that you sat down and you wrote or you did your intended habit like for hours and hours and hours in a row. What you really want to look for is like 5 minutes a day, every single day, because that's the better way to build a habit. So the Don't Break the Chain app, I have just recently discovered. I've had people doing it manually on calendars, which I think can be very gratifying. But I love that there is an app for doing this. And not just that, it's a smart app in that you can adjust it, because I want people to do their habits. I want us consultants to do our habits, but I don't want you to do them on the weekends. And I don't want you to do them if you take days off. But I also want you to have the sense that your chain is still going. And that can be, if you look at your calendar, you're like, well, there's, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and then this and this. So the app is smart enough to recognize that there are going to be times when you're going to be away. You can also track more than one app if you want to say, drink water every single day, or, work out or journal or whatever. Now, the habit that I recommend that you track, and the reason that this is a productivity tool, is building incredible habits in which you learn how to do things every day, especially work on those kind of things that really require tracking in order to build the habit of them. What are we very often tracking? We're tracking, I want to build a writing habit and be consistent about that. Is that a productivity habit? It's going to make your business so powerful. It's really going to help you to grow, because that consistent behavior is actually going to make you more productive. What I recommend that you do with your app is track meditating. If you meditate for just 10 to 15 minutes a day, you're going to see an incredible difference in your business and in your life. One of the things that I have been working on this year is this sense of feeling behind. Like no matter what time I get up in the morning, I always feel like I start my day behind. So I've added a meditating habit to my morning, even though it seems like I'm already behind, right? I added a meditating habit to my day, and suddenly that behind feeling went away, right? So I'm feeling more productive just because I've added a meditation habit. Well, what does that do? It makes me more mindful about the activities that I do participate in during the day. So that actually helps all of my day to go better. So recommending a meditation habit, and that you track that in the productivity app. The app is called Don't Break the Chain. The next absolutely essential tool in my business is called Video Speed Controller. There's a version of it called Facebook Video Speed Controller, and this is a Chrome extension. I'm not sure what browser you use, or something like this is available for you, but you have to use apps that help you to speed up videos that you watch. To me, it is absolutely brutal to watch a video in real time. I cannot stand like watching the hours just drain away. So you won't be surprised to hear when I'm on my walks and I'm listening to podcasts, I'm listening to them at a minimum of 1.5 speed. And in some cases, I'm doing it at 2x speed, like 2 times speed. A tip that I heard from my brother, who is one of the best read people I know, because he listens to books, which I know a lot of snobs don't consider reading, but I think it's totally reading if you're retaining what you're reading. He has read tons and tons of books because he's in the insurance business, so he's constantly on the road just driving these really long distances. And I'm so envious of him and all of the books that he's read. A thing that I learned from him is he listens to them also on, I forget whether it was 1.5x or 2x speed. And what he says is your ear adjusts. You, at first, it sounds, like mouse form, like blah, 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 blah. And then after a while, your ear adjusts so that you can really hear things on that speed. Now, I just want to say for the record that I do not speed up my my movies, my films, my cinematic experiences, or my music. And there are some, important, like poetic experiences that I want to have in actual real time speed. I will say also that I would love to speed up some people in real life, put them on 1.5x speed. But in general, get this tool. If you are not doing this in your business already, for goodness sake, watch your videos on higher speed, because we have so much content that we have to consume right now, whether it's a training or client videos or whatever you're needing to watch on video, and watching it on a higher speed is going to save you hours and hours each week, and you'll still be able to consume that content. The last productivity tool I want to talk about is called Superhuman. It is an email client, whatever it's called, I'm not even sure, that sits on top of Gmail. So it is a whole separate program that I open up on my computer, and there I'm seeing my emails. My Gmail come through there. If, like me, you have many Gmail accounts, you get a different tab for each one of them. Now, Superhuman, the creators of it say that they invented it so that you could get to inbox 0. And the way that you do that is because you have a primary inbox, which is your important. And this is the place where communications that come directly to you, like anything from clients or from your team would come in here. You can designate who comes into this one. And then you can have different tabs for other things. You can have a whole tab, like I have a whole tab for news, where all of my like official, not newsletters, but official like news comes in there. You can have one for like your team. So I have one that's just emails from Basecamp, which is our project management software we use. Or anything by client. And then there's everything else, the other folder. So for most of us, when we open up our email, everything is other, right? There's a ton of stuff in there, and it's all mixed in between. And if you can create something like what Superhuman has, then you're only looking at the important things first. So not processing your email first thing in the morning is a great way to keep yourself productive. But if you have something like Superhuman, it's showing you the important things first. And it's a huge time saver in that way. The other thing is that, as I mentioned, I have my personal emails that come to me. I have the ones that are like my newsletters sent from, and I have my work email. So many different Gmail accounts. And instead of having to log in and log out of those in Gmail all the time, I can have all of those inboxes open at the same time and kind of bounce around between them, even though there's a few of them that I don't even need to look at, like a customer service one. I'll glance in it from time to time. So it's a huge time saver in that way. Getting to inbox 0 is not really important to me, but knowing that the important emails are on the front page when I log in is the thing that is important to me and really saves me time from having to sift through things that come through in Gmail. And it's smart. It seems to discern what's an email that is important and needs to come to the front page. You can track sent emails. And for consultants, what's really important for us is that when you send an email to the client, or if you're following up with potential clients, you have that read receipt in there. You want to know if you haven't heard back from somebody, well, do I follow up with them again? If you can see a read receipt, it helps a lot. The other thing that you can see is how many times they've opened your email, and that's also a good sign. Usually when someone has opened your email up more than once, they're thinking about it. And so if potential clients have opened the email up more than once, then it's usually a good sign that they're ruminating on this decision and they're coming back to it over and over again. So if you see that, you can decide whether to leave them be or maybe follow up again. But I think it's very empowering, especially in a sales position, to be able to see if people have opened your emails. Another feature that it has, and I know a lot of email has this nowadays, which is a delayed send. So you can process a bunch of email and then have it send tomorrow. Or it can send next week. You basically tell it when to send. One of my favorite things about it is that I can have Superhuman remind me about emails. So if I get something in my inbox today and I go, I can't think about this today, but I want it to come back Friday, then I'll have it save and remind me next Friday. If I get an email from someone and it says, not right now, but follow up with me in 2 weeks, I can have the thing remind me to follow up in 2 weeks. So I'll get a reminder email. That same email will pop up in my inbox in 2 weeks. I know there's other emails out there that do that, but this is all within Superhuman. And the last thing, and this is just purely aesthetic, and yet it's important, is that it looks nice. When I look in my inbox, it's easy on the eyes. There's a nice font. It's framed nicely. It just looks nicer than Gmail. And I'm a huge Gmail fan, but just the way that it looks, it's not that great. And so Superhuman, I highly recommend as an incredible productivity tool for processing email and also being great and easy on the eyes. So those are 5 of my favorite productivity tools. I would love to hear what yours are. I welcome you to come to the Profitable Joyful Consulting Facebook group on Facebook after you've installed Newsfeed Eradicator and share. I'll make a post there inviting you to share. But I'd love to hear what your favorite productivity tools are. What is saving you hours and hours a week? I look forward to hearing that. And with that, I wish you a profitable and joyful consulting business. Thanks. Thanks for watching. I'd appreciate if you'd like this episode. And if you enjoyed the show, why not subscribe? Be sure to click the bell to get notified when new episodes drop.